What's up, guys? Morgan from Vine Outdoors here, and this is the first video. This is it. This is intro to saddles. I don't have all the saddles that I wish I had. If anyone wants to send me some, hit me up. I'd love to try them out, give them a review. But I've got my saddle. The saddle that I use actually had a 2-panel saddle. I'll talk about what that is in a minute. I sold that. I didn't really use it a whole lot, and then I've never really had a pleated saddle. Again, talk about that in a minute. So yeah, let's go through saddles. So you've heard me mention already pleated and 2-panel, and then single panel. Those are the three kind of biggest types. There's the Dryad, which is kind of like almost like a hammock for your whole body. Haven't tried that one out yet. Really hoping to try that one out. I'll be at the Iowa Deer Classic in March, and really hoping to get on one of those and see what it feels like. But I'm a minimalist. I like to go in as small and light as possible, so I personally run the Tethered Phantom. This is a single panel saddle. Got some modifications, some stuff added to it, but this is what I run. What's a single panel saddle? Basically, one panel, kind of like a hammock here. You can see, kind of it holds your bottom, and then on the bottom of this saddle, we've got 2 leg straps, one for each, kind of like a harness, right? So it's like a climbing harness for those of you who have climbed or cut down trees, that kind of stuff. But it's got a little bit more material, so it's more comfortable. This one has a lot less material than like a pleated saddle. So a pleated saddle is still a single panel, but when you go in, it's going to be probably about this size, maybe just a little bit bigger, but it's got pleats in it. So there's little folds. So when you do get up into the tree, then you open it up, and then it has more material to hold your body, right? So the more material you have, the more spread out the pressure is, and the less likely you are to have pressure points. I've tried the Cruiser XC, which a lot of guys really like, and just for me, it was just too much material. I hunt primarily in North Carolina, as you guys have seen if you've been following the video for any period of time, and it's really hot here for most of the season. So I try to have as little material as possible, and beyond that, I haven't found a reason to go away from this Phantom. It's super comfortable. You know, Tethered came out with a lockdown. I'm not necessarily a Tethered fanboy like a lot of people say. I have all Tethered stuff, I guess, but really like the saddle. Honestly, haven't even sat in a lockdown. Hopefully I'll get a chance at the Iowa Deer Classic as well, to sit in one of those just to see. You know, I'd like to try it out just to see, but for me, the Phantom single panel is where it's at. So far we've talked about single panel here, we've talked about pleated. So pleated is a single panel, but it opens up, so it's got more room. The Dryad, like I mentioned, it is a saddle setup where you have a harness, and then you've got this hammock piece that's even longer than kind of a pleated saddle, and it comes out of your a little pouch on your back. So it's really streamlined, really lightweight, and from what I've seen and heard, it's super comfortable. Again, I don't know that it's for me. I haven't tried one, so I can't say. I'm not going to say no or yay, but really want to try one out, maybe for some of those longer sits. But and even in this, I've gone 12, 13, 14 hours, multiple days in a row with little to no problems. I've got some other stuff that I use that helps me to be more comfortable in this saddle, and it would help with any saddle, and we'll talk about that in a little while, a couple videos from now. But yeah, single panel is what I use, pleated, another one, and then 2-panel. So that's the third kind of main type, right? So it's got the bottom panel and the top panel. So what that can do is you can, instead of having one piece kind of right here, you'll have a piece here and then a piece under your bottom. So if you're a sitter especially, so I primarily lean, so I'm sitting on the tree leaning back, that's a really helpful, or that's the way that I hunt. But if you're a sitter, I've heard that it's super comfortable because it holds your legs and it holds your back. There's not as much of a pressure point kind of around your thighs or your lower back. But for me, honestly, I never even tried it. I probably should have, but don't have a reason to go away from this. Andy's tried it. I believe Andy's brother Wes has hunted out of it as well, so we may have some video or pictures of that one to show off at some point. But all right, guys, so we talked about the three main types of saddles. We talked about why you'd use them, why you wouldn't use them, and now I wanted to talk about the parts of a saddle. I think that's really important for baseline knowledge, and that way, as I move into some more higher level discussions about saddles and climbing and all that kind of stuff, you'll have a better idea. So let me move some of this stuff out of the way and we talk about it. All right, so here's your saddle. All right, so I talked about a few things on it, the leg straps and saddle itself. But this is my saddle. This is my setup. This is how I hunt. And I've got some suspenders on it. Those are certainly optional. Some saddles, like Lockdown, come with them. I like them, so that's what I use. So saddle, main saddle part is here. Again, a 2-panel. It's going to have 2 of these. Pleated, it's going to be a little bit bigger. You've got your leg straps. So on some saddles, these will clip on and off. On others, like the tethered Phantom, they are sewed in. So yeah, leg straps, just like a harness. You've got, on pretty much every saddle, you've got MOLLE loops on all the way around. So you can hang accessories, like my bow hanger here. Got a little adaptive hanger from Genesis 3D Printing that I use for my haulers are hanging, stuff like that. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the bridge. So I guess there's 2 more things I want to talk about. So first, talk about the bridge. The bridge is going to be where you tie your ropes into when you're up in the tree. So we'll talk in the next video about what the ropes are and kind of what ropes you need. But this is what you're gonna hang from the whole time. So this is the Phantom has an adjustable bridge. So there's what's called a prusik knot on this side that kind of cinches down. So if you try to pull it, it cinches down and holds it in place. So basically, you're sitting in your saddle. You're hanging from this right here. So this is where your carabiner is going to clip to, that ties around the tree. This is what you're going to hang from. So this is your bridge. Again, mine's adjustable, so we're going to go back. I'm going to tie it off. I like to do everything the same way every time. Alright, so now that I've got that, last thing I want to talk about are your lineman's loops. So pretty much every saddle comes with lineman's loops. These are where you're going to attach your lineman's rope for climbing up and down the tree. So get to the tree, throw your lineman's rope around it, tie it in, put your stick on, climb up, tie your tether to your bridge, take your lineman's rope off, put it in your pouch. That's how I do it. That's how most folks do it, and that's the one of the safest ways to do it. There are other ways. You're going to see stuff like single sticking with a super long rope with the ability to rappel. There's SRT, there's some other 3-letter acronyms that I don't know. I try to keep things simple. Lineman's loops, bridge, leg straps, saddle, suspenders if you want them. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I guess before I let you guys go, one other thing, why would you go with one or the other? So single panel, it's going to be the smallest, it's going to be the lightest. In most instances, not everyone, obviously, there are different saddles, right? But for the most part, it's going to be the lightest, smallest, lightest, and most streamlined. The 2 panels are going to be a little bit more bulky. There's more moving parts. Depending on which one you have, the Method has a really cool retention system where it's held by magnets, so it doesn't flop apart, but some of the 2-panel saddles don't really have any retention system, so you have to like tie them together, or I've seen guys bungee them together, or Night As gear tie them together in order to hold them together so they're not flopping on the way in. And then, so that's negative. Positive, it's gonna be more comfortable for the guys that sit. So you sit for most of your time hunting. If you want something that's a little bit bigger, but you don't want all the material, 2-panel might be the way to go. Pleated, that's going to be kind of your biggest saddle, probably going to be one of the heavier, on the heavier end. I'm not going to say it's heavier or lighter definitively, because obviously all sorts of saddles are different, right? But by and large, it's more material there, probably going to be heavier. And on the other side, it's going to be more comfortable. There's more material there. There's more area to spread out the load that you're going to be putting on it. Try not to get too engineering here, but yeah, just can be a little more comfortable. Hopefully you got a bit better understanding of a saddle now. Hopefully you are able to look at a saddle, know what parts are there. You know why you might buy maybe the Cruiser Archon, or which is a 2-panel, the Latitude Method 2, which is a 2-panel, or the Cruiser XC, the Tethered Lockdown, which are both pleated saddles, and then or something like the Tethered Phantom. It's what I use, single panel. All useful, all have their uses. Some people like certain ones. I like small stuff. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot more videos like this. If you like it, like it. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment down below if there's anything you want to see in particular in the future, and we'll do our best to video it up. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one. Later.